Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tida Vanachari. Jamuna Tida Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Om Vishnuvad Punamansa Pariprajaka Ashto Tarasat Shri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Sangsthapakarya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sakaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kunigiri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jamana Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.10.3. Britya Lakshana Jigyasur Bhaktam Kameshu Achodayat Bhavan Sangsara Bijeshu Hridaya Grantishu Prabho Britya Lakshana Jigyasur Bhaktam Kameshva Chodayat Bhavan Sangsara Bijeshu Hridaya Grantishu Prabho Britya Lakshana Jigyasur Bhaktam Kameshva Chodayat Bhavan Sangsara Bijeshu Hridaya Grantishu Prabho stillness. Vidyalakshana jigyasur bhaktam kameshva chodayat bhavan samsara bijeshu hridaya grantishu prabha Prityalakshana jigyasur bhaktam kameshva chodayat bhavan samsara bijeshu hridaya grantishu prabha. Ladies, are there? Prityalakshana jigyasur bhaktam kameshva chodayat Prityalakshana jigyasuhu, desiring to exhibit the symptoms of a pure devotee. Bhaktam, the devotee. Kameshu, in the material world, where lusty desires predominate. Achodayat, has sent. Bhavan, your lordship. Sangsara bijeshu, the root cause of being present in this material world. Hridaya grantishu, which desire for material enjoyment is in the cores of the hearts of all conditioned souls. Prabho, O my worshipable Lord. O my worshipable Lord, because the seed of lusty desires, which is the root cause of material existence, is within the core of everyone's heart, you have sent me to this material world to exhibit the symptoms of a pure devotee. Purport. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu has given considerable discussion about Nitya Siddha and Sadhana Siddha devotees. Nitya Siddha devotees come from Vaikuntha to this material world to teach, by their personal example, how to become a devotee. The living entities in this material world can take lessons from such Nitya Siddha devotees and thus become inclined to return home back to Godhead. A Nitya Siddha devotee comes from Vaikuntha upon the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and shows by his example how to become a pure devotee. Anya Bilashita Shunyam. In spite of coming to this material world, the Nitya Siddha devotee is never attracted by the allurements of material enjoyment. A perfect example is Prahlad Maharaj, who is a Nitya Siddha, a Mahabhagavata devotee. Although Prahlad was born in the family of Hiranyakashipu, an atheist, he was never attached to any kind of materialistic enjoyment. Desiring to exhibit the symptoms of the pure devotee, the Lord tried to induce Prahlad Maharaj to take material benedictions, but Prahlad Maharaj did not accept them. On the contrary, by his personal example, he showed the symptoms of a pure devotee. In other words, the Lord himself has no desire to send his pure devotee to this material world, nor does the devotee have any material purpose in coming. When the Lord himself appears as an incarnation within this material world, he is not allured by the material atmosphere, and he has nothing to do with material activity. Yet by his example, he teaches the common man how to become a devotee. Similarly, a devotee who comes here in accordance with the order of the Supreme Lord shows by his personal behavior how to become a pure devotee. A pure devotee, therefore, is a practical example for all living entities, including Lord Brahma. Om Jnana Timirantasya Dhyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurn Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Koda Mahyam Tadhati Shapadantikam Vandehang Shri Guru Shri Jatapada Kamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savatutam Pradijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Ladita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kankshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hodi Priye Vansha Kolpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Britya Lakshana Jigyasur Bhaktam Kameshvachodyat Bhavan Sangsara Bijeshu Hridaya Grantishu Prabho. Kameshu, Sangsara, Bijeshu, Hridaya Grantishu. This is the material world. Kameshu, the place which is full of material desires. What is that? Iccha dvesha samutena dvandva mohena bharat. Sarvabhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. We come to this material world out of a desire to enjoy independently and out of reluctance or unwillingness to serve or out of envy of the personality of Godhead. Why should he be the only enjoyer? Why shouldn't I also enjoy? So, therefore, samsara bijeshu, this becomes the root cause of birth and death. Samsara bijeshu. It's Jayadvaita samutena, dvandva mohena, bewildered by dualities. We think that we can enjoy this material world, and instead, mrityu samsara vartmani, we're on the path of repeated birth and death in so many different species of life with so much suffering. The whole thing is just unlimited suffering, and we've entered this world of unlimited suffering for the project of enjoyment. This is, and hridaya grantishu, and that desire is not just a fleeting, superficial, comes and goes kind of desire, but hridaya grantishu. This is deep within the heart of every living being, in this every conditioned soul. Therefore, this so persistently, so obstinately, we're trying to enjoy. Try this, try that, try this, try that. Somehow or other, let me enjoy. What is that? Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma yadindriya pritiora pranoti. The nasadamanya, yeah. So the nasadamanya yadatmano yam sannapi kleshadashadeha. That we're madly trying to enjoy and performing vikarma, prohibited activities, sinful activities, in support of that project. And vikarma means, again, more suffering. Why? Indriya priti or apnati. Just for little sense gratification. Pumsa striya maituni pavametam tayor mitto hridaya grantamahu. And the desire for material enjoyment is hridaya grantishu, deep in the heart, and the knot is sex life. The desire is in the heart, and hridaya grantishu, and the knot is sex enjoyment. Let me enjoy this sexual happiness is the aspiration of the living being in so many different species of life. Pumsa striya maitini pavameta. And then when they're together, it becomes janasya mohoya mahamameti. I'm this body, this is mine. And all of the kama become desire upon desire upon desire. Now this is material existence. Kameshu, samsara bijeshu, hridaya grantishu. But therefore, the Lord comes, sambhavami yuge yuge, dharma samsthapanartaya, to reestablish the principle of pure devotional service. Sarva dharman pratyajya, mamekam sharanam praja. Or sometimes he sends his devotee. Sends means Krishna is not alone in the spiritual world. He has his associates. So sometimes the Lord comes personally in some expansion or in his original form also. And sometimes he comes, sometimes he sends one of his intimate associates from the spiritual world. That's called avatar. The living entity, when the living beings come, associates of the Lord, then they're called Shakti-Avesha avatars. They're empowered with some particular Shakti to carry out the mission of the Lord. Otherwise, the Lord himself comes as Purusha avatars, Leela avatars, Guna avatars, Manvantara avatars, Yuga avatars. So the Prahlad Maharaj is one of the associates of the Lord, Nitya Siddha. There are two kinds of perfect devotees, Nitya Siddha, Sadhana Siddha. Nitya Siddha are those who are always perfect. And Sadhana Siddha, those who attain perfection by performing devotional service, practicing devotional service. So, Nitya Siddha. So why does Prahlad Maharaj come? Britya Lakshana Jigyasura, because Krishna desired that someone should show the characteristics of a pure devotee, of a servant. Britya means a servant of the Lord. And Lakshana means the characteristics, the signs or characteristics of a pure devotee. So, Britya Lakshana Jigyasu, the Lord desired that the conditioned soul should have an example of what a pure devotee is. When we have an example, we can understand it, when you can see it. We were talking about something the other day. Who's seen an oil pressing machine? Have you seen an oil pressing machine? The kind where the bull... You've seen? Yeah. Who's seen? Oil pressing machine. Okay. So once you've seen it, you know what it is. I've also seen. The universe is described as having the sun moving around in an orbit arranged like an oil pressing machine. So when you've seen the oil pressing machine, then you know this is an oil pressing machine. This is how it's put together, this is how it works, this is what it does. And if you haven't seen it, it's like a puzzle. Or in our practical dealings, when you have a good leader, then that leader inspires others that this is how you distribute books, this is how you worship the deity, this is how you do this is how you do that. Acharya, by example. Apani achari prabhu jivireshika. By example, he teaches. Example speaks louder than precept. So when we see the example, then we naturally emulate, or can emulate the example. Let me do the same thing Prabhupada said, do as I'm doing. In the material world, there are plenty of examples of demons. They're not in shortage. If you want to know the characteristics of a demon, there's lots of examples available on every street corner practically. Everywhere we can find those who are lusty, greedy, bewildered, foolish, opposed to devotional service to the Lord. But the Lord wanted to show what are the characteristics of a pure devotee. That was his Britya Lakshana. Britya Lakshana, Prabhupada translates Britya, pure devotee. That's what a devotee is, Britya. Tava Britya Seva. Britya means a servant. And devotee means a servant. That's what a devotee is. He's a servant of Krishna. So Britya Lakshana, the Lord wanted to show an outstanding example of the signs of a devotee. And therefore Prahlad Maharaj. We see from the beginning of his career how he was enthusiastically preaching about the glories of Krishna to his school friends. We see how he was unafraid to speak the truth to his teachers. We see that he was unafraid to speak to the truth to Hiranyakashipu. We see that he was always joyful, Prahlada la dadayane. We see that he was always chanting the holy name of the Lord. We see that when his father gave him so much trouble, he remained fixed in Krishna consciousness. Yasmin stato nadukena guruna pi vichalyate. And we see that when Lord Nrsingadev offered him benedictions, he didn't want anything material. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma janavratam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhakti ruttama. This is the sign of a pure devotee. He doesn't desire anything. Nadanam najanam sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kami. He doesn't have material desires. Let me enjoy, let me have money, let me have women, let me have followers. His only desire is to be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, even birth after birth. That means he's not even moksha-kami, desiring liberation. He just desires to serve. So Prahlad Maharaj showed that also. Lord Nrsingadev personally tried to induce him, please take some benediction. No, I'm born in a demonic family. If you offer me benedictions, then that's not good for me. And besides, I'm not a merchant. I don't come to you to perform devotional service in exchange for something. It's not a motivated relationship where I'll serve you if I can get some facility, if I can get some comfort, if I can get some pay. That's not service. If I'm serving for pay, that means I'm a devotee of the pay. If I'm serving for comfort, then I'm devoted to the comfort. If I'm serving for the sake of facility, then I'm devoted to the facility. Of course, the neophyte devotees, they're mixed. They have some devotion for Krishna, but they come artartarti jigyasur, to get something either to mitigate their material distress or to get some profit. But therefore Krishna wanted to show both the non-devotees and the mixed devotees the characteristics of a pure devotee. Pure devotee means no material desires, only the desire to serve. Britya Lakshana. The Jigyasura, the Lord, takes pleasure in glorifying the devotee. The Pandavas went through so much trouble just so that they could be glorified. Bhishma Dev was asked to give instructions even while on the bed of arrows, just so that he could be glorified. There are so many examples how Krishna prefers to glorify the devotee. Rather than, he already has sufficient glory. He has no need. Namam karmani limpanti. Name karma pales priya. Name karma pales priya. He has no need to achieve anything. Nanavaptam avaptavyam. He's complete in himself. But he performs his pastimes in such a way as to glorify the devotee. The devotees are always glorifying the Lord, and therefore the Lord takes pleasure in glorifying the devotee. This is reciprocation. Yeyatam mam prapadyante tams tataiva bhajamyaham. So the Lord wanted to show these characteristics of pure devotional service. He wanted to glorify the devotee. Bhaktam kameshva chodiyat bhavan samsara bideshu. So Prahlad Maharaj glorifies Lord Nrsingadev in this way. Are there some questions?
Here it is mentioned this Hridaya Granthi. So after coming in contact with Krishna consciousness, I get to know that I should not have any material desire because of deep-rooted anarthas and... Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you very much for wonderful class. Maharaj, I had a question that after coming in contact with the Krishna consciousness movement, I get to know that I should not cultivate any material desires, but because of deep-rooted desires in the heart from the past, the material desires keep on springing, and I become fearful that if this desire became fulfilled, then I'll be lost. So how to get out of this?
Yeah, Chaito Darpana Marjanam. They'll keep coming and coming, just like you're cleaning a room. The dust keeps coming. So you have to keep cleaning. And finally it comes to the stage, very clean. Yes.
Thank you very much for this wonderful explanation. My question was that Prahlad Maharaj was able to tolerate the hardships, and now he's able to tolerate apparently good times. Lord himself has arrived. So how can we better train ourselves to tolerate material happiness, times of material happiness?
We just have to, how do we tolerate material happiness? We just have to serve. Britya means when it's nice he serves, and when it's not so nice he serves. Sometimes he'll get some happiness, sometimes he'll get some facility, and sometimes not. But he's interested in the service. Therefore we need to be careful to see that we're not becoming attached to some other thing. Am I becoming attached to a comfortable room somewhere? Am I becoming attached to sitting and eating nice prasadam and then taking rest? Am I becoming attached to my motorbike or whatever facility I have for service? Or am I attached to the service? As long as we keep the service in the forefront, strong, then we're in the right position. Otherwise, if we allow these other things to grow, my motorbike, my green card, my whatever it is, then devotional service becomes stunted. We need to be careful. Something else? Yes.
Maharaj, here this Lakshanam is mentioned, the characteristics of a pure devotee. So, I may not have all these qualities. Of course, I do not have all these qualities. So, is it better for me to wait for my heart to become pure and then these qualities will automatically come? Or there are some like external ways, some steps, like how to say no to others. There are some steps. First smile, then say this, say that.
By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, what is that? Nashta prayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. By regularly hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam, we become free from anarthas. Otherwise we adopt some other method to become free from anarthas, and that method becomes the next anartha. I'm attached to this method, I'm attached to that method. Then that becomes the anartha. But the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, by regularly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and by absorbing ourselves in service, Nashta Prayushva Bhadresha.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Where are you? Yes.
Maharaj, I have a question that Supreme Personality of Godhead is giving something to his devotee.
I can't understand anything of what you're saying. The acoustics aren't helping.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
I was asking that Supreme Personality of Godhead is giving a boon to his devotee. Now, what I can't understand is that since the father is giving something to his son is saying, okay, no, I don't want, but how can it be a bad to his son? I mean, that I am not able to understand.
I couldn't hear any of that. Yeah, that I heard. No, the father is giving something good, but the son wants something better. There's a story, it's a true story. The king of Saudi Arabia wanted some work done. So he called on one of his men. Sir, can you get this work done? Businessman. So, yes. So the man did it. It was a big thing. I forget what it was, some international big business deal or, some international thing. Then the king was very pleased. So then he offered that I can give you, he offered to give him a big, percentage, big payment, big gift. So then the man said, no, I did this for my king. I did this for my king. So the king wanted to give him something, but he said no. The opportunity to render service to the king, that's the reward. Now, whether he actually was sincere or whether he was being strategic, that's another question. But that was his response. And after that, the king was so pleased, he gave him so many more things to do, and he became the richest subject in the kingdom, practically. So, whoever it is that doesn't know how to turn their phone off, please learn. So there's so many things that might be good for me, to have a nice house, to have nice this, nice that, and my father might offer me this, that. But that's none of those things are as good for me as just serving my father. And nothing is as pleasing. The Father is pleased if you accept this gift, that gift. But if your mood is that I just want to serve you, then how pleased the Father becomes. Is that all right? Something else? Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, we hear that we cannot receive any suffering which we don't deserve.
Cannot receive any
suffering. We cannot receive any suffering which we don't deserve. So in case of Prahlad Maharaj, we see like the suffering was coming, although like it was always mitigated by the Lord because of his surrender. But why such conditions was coming like in Prahlad Maharaj's life? Because he was a pure soul. And similarly we see the suffering coming in the life of other devotees as well. So is that statement correct that we cannot receive any suffering which we don't deserve, or there can be the possibility of a new fresh karma which is produced by the other living entity, although like...
Now put the microphone down and try again and maybe I'll hear. There's 95% echoes. Tell me. Dushabar. Just, the mic's good for everyone else, but I can't understand a word you're saying. So put the mic down and ask again for me. But loud. Right, I got that.
So we see like in the life of Prahlad Maharaj, so much of atrocities were coming because of Hiranyakashipu. So like, is it because of Prahlad's past karma, or like it was a new things produced by Hiranyakashipu?
Who said that no one gets any suffering they don't deserve?
I heard like not read in Prabhupada books, but heard in lectures. So that's why I wanted to confirm that this statement correct or like.
Did the Pandavas deserve so much trouble? You think, by their past sinful activities, they deserve to get so much trouble? Did Haridas Thakur deserve to get whipped in so many marketplaces? Sometimes it's on account of our past karma, but sometimes the Lord wants to do something. He wants to glorify the devotee, or He wants to push the devotee in some direction. So He sends apparent suffering. Just Vidura. He was insulted by Duryodhana, and that pierced his heart. But the result was that he left the palace and went traveling and met Maitreya Muni. So sometimes or Krishna created apparent suffering for the gopis, disappearing. But the purpose was just to increase their love. So sometimes Krishna has some purpose, not just, especially with devotees, it's not that Krishna takes pleasure in seeing the devotee suffer. But some apparent suffering is created for the sake of the drama, so that the devotee will be glorified, or for the sake of instruction for others, or for the sake of moving the devotee in some particular way. It's not just by karma. It may be, especially the conditioned souls who are coming to devotional service, there's some residual karma for which some result may have to be accepted, but sometimes it's some other purpose. And in any case, the devotee takes it as Krishna's kindness.
So in case of conditioned soul, we can accept the statement that they receive suffering because of their past karma.
Conditioned souls get suffering because of their past karma. Devotees, liberated souls, they don't have any past karma. Jnana agni dagda karmani bhasmasat kurute tada. By transcendental knowledge, their sinful reactions are burnt up. Karmani nirdhati kintu cha bhakti bhaja. Anything else? Yes.
This is a very frequently asked question that why do bad things happen to good people? So
What good people?
why do bad things happen to good people?
Why do bad things happen to good people? What good people?
When the person starts appearing to be good, like even
Appearing to be good.
even in case of devotee,
Appearing is the key word here.
even in case of mixed
If they're so good, what are they doing here? Why do bad things happen to good prisoners?
need to understand the concept of karma, but the second question rises that when a person is already doing good, like or say engaged in devotional services, mixed devotee, not a pure devotee. So say we are saying person engaged from the last 15 years, nicely not engaged in gross simple activities. But when something very harsh comes, a major accident where 10 bones are broken in the body, so then people are bewildered that why this karma is coming now when he has already started doing good.
Because he has this body. Anyone who has this body, he was supposed to break 20 bones. He only broke 10. They don't see that. It was meant to be worse, but it was reduced. But anyway, we have this body. It's not that you get a ticket, that now you're a devotee, your body will function without any of the troubles that bodies are subject to. If you have a body, the body means trouble. But for the devotee, he's fixed in Krishna consciousness. He knows, I'm not this body, so what does this trouble have to do with me? Hmm? Hmm. What if the asker of this question has no concept of karma? Well, that's because of his past bad karma, of course. What no karma? No. You punch me, I'll punch you back. That's karma. You get a mosquito bite, you'll get malaria, maybe. That's karma. You eat bad food, you'll get sick. You go out in the cold without a proper covering, you get sick. You don't understand karma. Karma means cause and effect. What's the problem? They may not understand the concept, therefore they need to be educated. Because they're miseducated, they don't know anything. They know how to program computers, but they don't know anything about birth and death. And so therefore we have to educate them. That's our business. Therefore the books are there and classes are there. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Okay, we can stop here. Thank you. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Samaveta Bhakta Brindaki. Samaveta Bhakta Brindaki Jai. Gaur Premanande. Jai.